I'm always very excited about talking about passion and aligning that with the work that you do, because I truly believe that when you give employees space to explore and discover their strengths and passions, it benefits both the employee and the firm. And I know we maybe talk about you should pursue your passion, right? And not everybody can pursue their exact passion. Like I would, I love beach volleyball. I'm not getting paid to play beach volleyball. I'm not at that level yet. But are there elements within my role that I'm passionate about? Well, I'm really passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about new technology. I'm passionate about finding new operational efficiencies. And so if you can find a job that you can explore all of those areas, I think that's very powerful. What are your thoughts on passion and purpose in the workplace, Randy?
Well, this is an area where I could talk all day long on passion and purpose. And I've coined a phrase. I have no idea how I did it. I'm guessing I was talking with ChatGPT one day and we went back and forth and found this, but it's living at the intersection of your passion and your skills. Because I know I'm 62 years old. It took me a long time to get here. I think you're way ahead of I was at that stage in my career. But I have been able to find that passion. I've been able to find what I'm good at and what I love doing. And that's how I define the intersection of your passion and your skills. It's something you love and it's something that you're good at. And so for me personally, this is something I want to do anything I can to help people get to that spot. And as you said, you give people opportunity, give them freedom to find that passion. If you do that, is it good for the person? Yeah. I mean, if I'm doing what I'm passionate about, I'm enjoying it more. Is that good for the business? Oh yeah. If Randy's letting me, not that I let, but if Randy is letting me do what I love, I'm going to do it with more passion. I'm going to do it with more excitement. I'm going to just that energy is going to show through. And so this is just and I think I might be getting ahead of myself, but you can't stop me, Casey. I'm getting excited here. We internally have been talking about this. We haven't started it yet, but I announced it in November in a company meeting. I said, I want everybody in the organization to go through that, finding what they love and what they're good at. And conversely, also finding what they hate. That's a strong word. My mom would yell at me, but what they hate and what they're bad at. Because if you can find that what you're good at and what you love, this is where we want people working. If you can find what you're bad at and what you hate, well, why would I want you to work in that area? There's also going to be somebody else in the organization that loves and is good at what you hate and are bad at. So how are we going to know that without doing some kind of survey other than getting to know each other personally, which I think is important. But if we do that, then we can align people with their passions and their skills and find that area. And if we do that, the organization just flies. I mean, how could it not if everybody's passionate about what they're doing? So to me, passion and purpose, living at the intersection of passion and skills, I'll do anything I possibly can to get everybody in the profession to find that intersection.
Yeah, I actually am reflecting on early in my career. I was an associate in audit and my senior transitioned into an operational role in the firm. And I remember being like, wait, you could do that? I didn't know you could do that. Like I was just on this track, like you have to do this job and you move up to the next level. I didn't know you had any leeway to like move around. And so I think that planted a seed in me because when I went to my next company, I was still in audit and I went to the department shareholders office and I was like, I don't want to do audit anymore. But I love this company. I love working here. I love the people. Is there anything else I can do? And he said, we have this new kind of up and coming department. It was an early stage CAS department and they're growing really fast. So maybe you can go, help them. And when I switched departments, I was kind of in this weird blended client service operations role where it didn't have much structure around what the role was. I ended up writing my own job description. But what that did was there was so much space for me to explore and try things. And the leader of that department, she didn't know what my strengths were either. But because I was in this role that didn't have boundaries around it, I just flourished. I absolutely blossomed. And I got to learn so much about myself. I brought so much more to the company in the 7 years that I was in that department because I was so much more fulfilled and doing work that was in alignment with my skill set. And that wasn't really an option presented to me. I sought it out, but I'm glad that leadership was open to saying, you know what, hey, yeah, sure, go try this out. And so I think, like, what are the chances that everybody in your firm is in exactly the right role, doing exactly what they're good at, right? You might have some average performers, or maybe even some seemingly low performers who have some dormant capabilities that you aren't aware of, that they aren't even aware of. There's this quote by Alex Hermosi that everyone is a Michael Jordan of something, right? And so how can you let people explore what those skill sets are? And I think as a leader, it's important to increase the surface area where people can maybe explore different things, try different industry groups, try a different technical area outside of their normal role, or even a department or firm initiative that you're working on. If you need some extra hands, pull in someone and they'll get to feel brought in and more bought into your culture and your firm operations, and they might discover something magic about them.
Yeah, that is huge. This is something, like you said, leadership has to give you the freedom to do this. There has to be that ability. And I can name, a handful of people within our organization who came in as one thing and then flourished in another area. One example is somebody came in as my assistant, which that has to be a terrible job, but somebody came in as my assistant, and I deal a lot with the marketing department. And immediately I realized she's really lighting up when we're in these marketing meetings. She's enjoying this. You could tell she's super passionate about it. And it was almost like I didn't say, okay, go to marketing. It just was like a natural transition within months of coming in. She was no longer my assistant, and she was in the marketing department, as a, assistant, but she is the superstar of our conference now. I mean, without her, our conference doesn't run, and she's doing that. And that's because you allow people to find that passion. And when they do, like I said, like I said, people flourish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's important too, that you as a leader, like you saw that there was a spark in someone doing this particular area of their work that they were really good at and they were excited about it. Like, how do you give them more of that? And so I think too, employees should be paying attention to the things that light them up and then put them out put them out there. Like, people, when you state what your interests are and things that you want to try and you put it out into the universe, like, people won't know unless you say it. And if you show up and start doing those things, people will pay attention to that, and you'll get more of those opportunities to do the things that you love doing.
Yeah, and so the one thing, and we I kind of jumped the gun a little bit on that intersection of your passion and skills. And so, as what Casey was just saying, identify what you really like. And to do this is a simple. There's all kinds of things out there. You can find that EOS has their own system. There's things out there where you can look at this, but this is a simple Excel spreadsheet where you list every task that you work on. List everything. And you're not going to do it in a second. It's going to take you weeks, even longer. But as you find another task you work on, just put it on this list. And then you have 4 columns. And I got this from a friend of mine, Sean Duncan, and I'm sure he got it from somewhere else. But Sean has the 4 columns. It's the love it, hate it, good at, bad at. So what I was saying earlier, but you do this as an exercise and you check one of the first 2, you check one of the second 2. And that's where you find the things you love and you're good at. That's a simple thing. You can do that even if leadership isn't asking you to do that. As Casey just says, now you're going to start identifying those things that you're passionate about, that you enjoy doing, that you want to spend more time, and then put that out into the world, that this is the things that you like.